I just can't believe it. I mean, I can believe it because I'm watching it and I know what the culture is like because I was raised in it, but it doesn't mean that it makes it right.
Recently, I've been covering the decline of many black conservative commentators, people such as the Hodge Twins and even Officer Brandon Tatum. And of course, what I'm saying about them is true. At least I feel so. While they are right on many issues and aspects of their commentary, they tell half-truths, meaning that they don't explain the entire situation as to why something is going on. They're pretty much just cut and paste. This is happening and blacks are to blame. But when you look at the whole situation, it's more to be told there. And in the comment sections of the videos, one name keeps coming up. Anton Daniels. What? For example, look at this. You can add Anton Daniels to the list too. Keep calling him out, Unc. Anton Daniels is next. We lost him to the system. Anton Daniels, he's the same as the twins. I know you're cool with Anton, but that's what Anton Daniels do.
Damn.
So guys, I gotta offer you an apology. I was being hypocritical. I mentioned a few days ago, Brandon Tatum calls out Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes for being anti-Semitic, but never mentions Candace Owens. And Candace Owens is his friend. And in fact, Candace Owens is probably more anti-Semitic, or at least the Israel may think so, than the other two. In the same way, Anton Daniels has been putting out some pretty interesting content that I disagree with. But I am friendly with Anton Daniels. It is because Anton Daniels, when I first met him, wasn't as big as he is now, and he's much bigger and a better YouTuber than me. But Anton Daniels is different than Brandon Tatum, Candace Owens, or the Hodge Twins. Number one, Anton Daniels is married to a black woman.
He's right, you know.
Now, his commentary might be different, but his actions still qualify as partially being pro-black. Anton Daniels may be harshly critical of black Americans and what we do. He has a lovely black wife. I've spoken to her before. A black daughter. He's taking care of a black family. Okay. 2, Anton Daniels largely has a black base. And at first, he was marketing his content towards the black community. All the black podcasts he has, the live events he's done, he monetizes a black audience, which I respect. He wasn't trying to just get to an all-white audience. Anton Daniels has definitely grown his offline presence. He's appeared on Fox News, he's appeared on Dr. Phil, and this is a part of his marketing strategy. He's not staying still. And that's why Anton Daniels is probably gonna cross 1 million subscribers in the next 2 weeks or a few weeks because, number one, of his work ethic and exactly how he moves around. His strategy is really monetizing the black community while being harshly critical of it. And he's one of the few people that have shown that you can strongly do that. 3, Anton Daniels has a wider range of content. He can cover red pill things, he can cover geopolitical things, and he can then come back and criticize the black community, which is different than the Hodge Twins, who all they talk about is black fatigue, or even Officer Tatum, or even Candace Owens. He covers more culturally than the other ones. So that's kind of why I didn't want to really bring him up a lot. You're right, I'm a hypocrite, and I gotta call it out. You guys got me.
Got him.
Anton Daniels is being a little disingenuous with his content. He does tell truths, but many of them are half-truths. And I have an example of what I'm talking about. Rewind. On September 23rd, 2025, a duo called Fearless Debates showed up unannounced at Tennessee State University and were escorted off campus. And of course, for me, this was a slam dunk case of what transpired. But this is where me and Anton Daniels differ. Anton Daniels saw it the same way that other black conservatives saw it, that the students were rowdy and the students were tripping. And of course, they were, right? I'm not gonna say that they could have handled themselves better because yes, they did stereotypically look bad at a certain point. I'm not gonna argue that. But that's not all. Anton Daniels, after covering it, points something out that's pretty interesting.
I have no clue how many HBCUs exist. I have no clue how many HBCUs are actually on an up and up. But as you can see in the cover photo of this video, the young man has a screwdriver. He has a screwdriver now in this video, because when I reviewed it, when I just played it really quickly yesterday, I didn't know that it was going to be a viral moment.
So Anton Daniels is talking about this student that's holding a screwdriver, all right? And it doesn't seem like the person who has the screwdriver is actually trying to fix something. It looks like the person has a screwdriver in case something pops off. But Anton Daniels is bringing this up to basically prove his point that you have students at HBCUs who don't want to engage in debate, and these black students are violent. And this is the point that he typically would like to prove in this content. Till I wanted to find out, is it a crime to have a screwdriver? I even went to Google AI, and it says no, it is not inherently illegal to possess a screwdriver, but carrying one with the intent to commit a crime, such as a burglary, can make it illegal. The legality depends on the intent behind possessing the tool rather than the tool itself. So a screwdriver can also be considered a burglary tool or even an offensive weapon if it is intended to cause harm or to facilitate a crime, all right? What Anton Daniels is trying to do is to present a situation that's not even there. The student never used a screwdriver. The student never attacked anybody with the screwdriver. But here's where the half-truths come in. Anton Daniels, could you tell me a reason why a student would have a screwdriver?
On alert and on pause, at least 6 historically black colleges have halted activities after receiving potential threats against their campuses. The lockdown measures come in the wake of yesterday's shooting of Charlie Kirk, though officials have not linked any of those threats to that shooting.
On September 11, 2025, Charlie Kirk officially died after being shot on September 10th. HBCUs went under lockdown, meaning that MAGA supporters or Charlie Kirk supporters were making death threats to HBCUs, and these HBCUs, nor the students or the staff, had anything to do with what happened in Utah. In fact, HBCU campuses are so far removed from Utah, it's ridiculous. It's literally on the other side of the country. So even though they were not at fault, these people, white people, I'm assuming, were calling and threatening these schools. And which schools went under lockdown? Well, we can see Alabama State University, Virginia State University, Hampton University, Southern University, Clark Atlanta University, Spelman College, Bethune-Cookman University. So the states that were affected are Alabama, Florida, Louisiana, Georgia, Virginia. Students are on lockdown. Some people are afraid to go to class, okay? This was just 12 days ago. In Tennessee State or Fisk University, none of these states were mentioned. But guess what? You see these MAGA students come onto the campus, and every HBCU had to be on high alert. There's no way that these schools could be under lockdown and the other schools don't understand what's going on. Every school is taking security precautions at this time, all right? However, Anton Daniels doesn't want to mention why the student may have had a screwdriver. And obviously, if I'm a student there, it would be from protection, because these whites have been talking about threatening blacks. Then you have some whites who are emboldened enough to come onto your campus, and you didn't expect them to be there, which we'll get into a little bit later, but they came anyway. So would you go and get a screwdriver protection? Yeah, I probably wouldn't do it myself, but it's the point of why they're doing it. Why are these students acting hostile? Literally, MAGA threatened them. And this is what Anton Daniels leaves out. So many of these guys leaves out. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, black people do a lot of things that don't make sense. And of course, we got to call that out. But he don't want to call out the fact that MAGA was threatening black students. He want to leave that all the way out. And that's what is disingenuous, in my honest opinion. Let's go into more of his commentary.
This young white man was looking to have conversations and debate on the campus of Tennessee State University, which is an HBCU. And when he pulled up to Tennessee State University, I'm pretty sure that he anticipated some pushback, but I'm not sure if he anticipated a practically a riot.
So he says here, he thought that these guys would try to start a riot. Okay, now if he believes that, If Anton Daniels believes that he thought it would cause some confusion going into an HBCU, then let's look at why the person would come to an HBCU. If you thought that you were going to get there and something was going to happen, then why would you go in the way that you went? Why would you go without the protection that you could clearly help yourself or help the students if you felt that way? Anton Daniels is using his opinion to justify what the guy did. And he's saying, hey, he probably was expecting some pushback. Well, why was he expecting some pushback, Anton? Oh, because you know that most HBCUs lean toward the left. And also, you would have to know that HBCUs were threatened by MAGA supporters. Yes. So this was a whole troll idea. The guy was there to get a reaction. All right. But this is not necessarily so bad right now. But this is.
I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in the culture. I'm disappointed in the community. I'm disappointed in the amount of black wife beaters, wave caps, pajamas, sandals, white socks, and aggression that I see from these young people that are supposed to be the future of America and college students. I'm very disappointed. The amount of aggression that people want to get into a brawl is crazy. It's crazy. I just can't believe it. I mean, I can believe it because I'm watching it and I know what the culture is like because I was raised in it, but it doesn't mean that it makes it right.
So now Anton Daniels is attacking how these students look. These guys have on sandals, pajamas, wave caps, and these are the kids of our future. Okay, these are valid points because I've went to HBCUs in predominantly white institutions. And yeah, these students do dress down. But here's what Anton Daniels isn't saying. White students also dress down. They also wear sandals. I mean, if you want to talk about sandals, white people are the king of sandals, wearing pajamas to class, doing whatever the hell they feel like doing. Like, I went to school with white people. Like, I understand, like, all college students do this. Now, if you want to talk about bonnets and wave caps, that might be culturally, but white people do equally things, if not worse. So again, this is just to prove his point about how down bad the schools are. But here is what Anton Daniels is also not mentioning. Did the Fearless Debate guys have any permission from the school to be there? Jeopardy music! And the answer is no. Fearless Debates did not have permission from Tennessee State University. They went there unannounced. They had not secured prior permission to demonstrate or debate there, which means that this is all of their fault. Coming up there with mine saying DEI should be illegal and deport all illegals now when you don't have permission to be there, which means that the ownership is not on Tennessee State University. The ownership is on these students. But Anton Daniels tells the half truth there. He goes around that. And if it was the other way around, he would say, if it was some black students going onto the white campuses, wanna know what Anton would say? Why didn't they get permission?
Got him!
So this is the half truth. He wants to deal with the outcome of them showing up instead of dealing with the prevention mechanism of why they showed up. Fearless Debates not only put themselves in danger, but they put the students in danger. All right? Then he uses all of this to prove another point about HBCUs.
I looked at my daughter's college things, you know, like what she was applying to college. And I seen a couple of HBCUs on there. And she was just, I said, let's see, what is this doing on here? She said, oh no, it's just a bunch of lists. She was like, me and my friends put together a list. It's not necessarily what I'm gonna apply to yet. And then the ones that she actually applied to, none of them was on there. And I'm very thankful for that because it's important for her to continue to be raised in the admonition of her father.
So Anton Daniels' daughter is applying to college according to him, and he did not want his daughter to go to an HBCU, which is, I mean, again, it's a fair choice. I can see HBCUs are, at least when I was going, disorganized, tend to have more problems than PWIs. I get it. But then he said something more interesting.
This is where they want us to send our children. This is what they keep trying to tell us that is waiting for us as far as great education, strong networks, the best of the best.
So he's then making fun of the fact that HBCUs are supposed to have this high education and all of these opportunities and connections. And in the prior clip, he mentions that his daughter should be more like her father. Which is crazy because Anton Daniels is the epitome of working through a black community. He's been collaborating with people like Kevin Samuels, people like myself, Charleston White. That's how Anton Daniels got to where he is now. And he went the independent route. This is what HBCUs are supposed to do, foster those networks. It's literally a white space opportunity. So if your daughter wanted to be more like you, your daughter would go to HBCU, right? Because she'd be making her own way with all of that opportunity to connect the dots in Black America or through Africa or through the diaspora, which is also a white space opportunity. So again, this is what I feel with Anton Daniels. Number one, I respect the resilience. I respect his work ethic. He's a better YouTuber than me. I used to tease him about that and he passed me up. However, the half-truths I think are disingenuous. Not only do I think they're disingenuous, they are disingenuous. And I was wrong for calling out everybody else and clearly not seeing Anton Daniels for what he was doing and not saying much about it. So I just had to be honest about this. This is not to start a war with Anton. This is something that I'm seeing. And what I would hope is that in his commentary, to be more balanced, if he could be. And the reason why he could afford to be more balanced is because his audience is black. The Hodge Twins can't be balanced. Tatum can't be balanced. Candace Owens can be balanced to a little bit, but it has to be towards Israel. But Anton Daniels could literally tell those guys tomorrow, listen, you guys getting the middle finger. I want to be honest towards the black community for once. And he would not lose anything, in my honest opinion. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, L. Jackson, back at it again. Another episode of The Celebrity Drunk. Appreciate you for all you do. Bell. We're out.